What happens to your body, mind, and muscles when you stop ejaculating for 90 days? The truth about semen retention. Did you know that a man's testosterone can spike by up to 145% after just 7 days of no ejaculation? That's not just a number. It's a biological firestorm waiting to be unleashed. And it could be the reason some men seem unstoppable while others stay stuck in neutral. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Seriously, it helps way more than you think. Tap that like button so YouTube knows this is real talk. Share this video with a brother who needs to wake up. Subscribe if you're ready for raw, unfiltered truths about masculinity, energy, and performance. And drop a comment below. Have you tried semen retention or NoFap? What changed for you? Let's build a powerful, open conversation. Introduction. Why are some men stuck while others evolve at light speed? Have you ever wondered why some men seem to explode in every area of life? Physically shredded, mentally sharp, financially climbing, and radiating unshakable confidence? While others, despite grinding just as hard, feel like they're spinning their wheels? They follow the same rules. They hit the gym, meal prep clean, read self-help books, listen to high-performance podcasts. On paper, they're doing everything right, but something's missing. Their progress stalls, their edge fades, they burn out, feel drained, and question their worth. So what's the difference? It's not effort, it's energy direction, and the most misunderstood, misused form of energy in men today is sexual energy. Here's the truth no one told us growing up. Sexual energy is not just for pleasure. It's creative force. It's raw biological power. It's the same life force that can create a human being. So imagine what happens when you learn to harness it rather than waste it. Every time you ejaculate, you lose a bit of this power. Not just sperm, but vital minerals, neurotransmitters, and hormonal signals that your body needs to perform at its peak. Ancient Eastern philosophies like Taoism and yoga understood this thousands of years ago. Even modern science is catching up. Studies now show links between abstinence and increased testosterone, sharper focus, heightened motivation, and deeper self-control. Experts like Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about sexual energy as potential spiritual fuel. Psychologists like Carl Jung hinted at its role in personal transformation. And millions of men today, from biohackers to monks to entrepreneurs, are rediscovering its secret. Real talk. I've worked with men who were depressed, addicted to porn, lacking drive, and within weeks of practicing semen retention, their entire aura shifted. Their eyes became sharper, their voices deeper, their goals clearer. And I've lived this too. I've seen what 90 days of retention can do to your mind, your body, and your life direction. It's not magic, it's mastery. Welcome to the hidden world of 90-day semen retention and NoFap, an underground movement that's flipping the script on masculinity. This isn't about avoiding sex or denying your desires. It's about transformation, channeling that primal energy into power, purpose, and performance. In this deep dive video, we'll explore what actually happens to your testosterone, your muscles, your mental clarity, and your emotional state over 90 days without ejaculation. We'll break it down week by week, from the chaos of the first 7 days to the breakthroughs of week 6 to the total rewiring by day 90. You'll hear real stories, real struggles, and real triumphs, plus insights I've gained through walking this path myself and coaching others through it. This is more than a trend. This is a biological reset, a spiritual practice, and a mental edge that separates boys from men. Let's build a global brotherhood of discipline, purpose, and true masculine energy. Let's get into it. Part 1. Days 1 to 7. The shock to your system. Timeline. Week 1. Welcome to the storm zone. Let's be honest, most men today don't even make it 48 hours without ejaculating. Whether it's triggered by late-night scrolling, mindless porn, casual sex, or just boredom, their nervous system is under constant assault. They think it's normal. It's not. It's addiction, not choice. And the first week of retention exposes that truth like a lightning bolt to your nervous system. This is not just about semen, it's about energy, neurochemistry, and power. Scientific insight: the hormonal whiplash. A 2003 study published in the Journal of Zhejiang University made a groundbreaking observation. On day 7 of abstinence, testosterone levels spiked dramatically by up to 145%. But let's be clear, this isn't some magic testosterone boost fairy dropping gifts on your doorstep. This is your body responding to a shift in evolutionary programming. It senses you're not reproducing, not releasing, so it ramps up your hormonal engine, especially testosterone and luteinizing hormone, to increase reproductive motivation and physical dominance. But here's the twist. That hormonal surge doesn't feel like a clean energy boost. It feels like a storm, and that storm is going to test your discipline. What you'll actually feel: chaos before clarity. Most men describe the first 3 to 7 days of retention as both energizing and unsettling. Here's a breakdown of common physical and psychological shifts reported during week 1. Restlessness, irritability, or even anxiety. This is withdrawal. Your brain is detoxing from the cheap dopamine spikes it's used to getting multiple times a day. Sharper focus by day 3 or 4. You'll notice this in small moments. You listen deeper. You stop scrolling. You lock in on your work or your reps. Mental clarity, like a fog lifting from your brain. For some men, this is the first time in years they feel fully present. Increased aggression in the gym. Not violent, but primal. You lift heavier. Your form is tighter. Your body craves movement, improved eye contact and posture. It's subtle but undeniable. You stop shrinking. You take up space. These aren't spiritual theories. These are neurochemical changes. Your dopamine system is undergoing a rebalancing process. Before, it was addicted to fast pleasure, porn, junk food, video games. Now it starts craving long-term earned rewards. Your baseline dopamine sensitivity is being recalibrated. Neuroscientist Dr. Anna Lemke, author of Dopamine Nation, explains that when we remove high dopamine stimuli, the brain compensates by resetting to a more balanced state. This is exactly what's happening in week 1. Personal note: I felt like I unlocked a new level of myself. Let me keep it real. When I hit day 5 on my very first real streak, something snapped, in a good way. I woke up before my alarm, full of energy. Not just awake, but driven. I laced up my shoes and ran 5 miles without even planning to. I hadn't done that in months. That wasn't a random fluke. That wasn't a motivational video. That was liberated energy, the very essence of what I'd been leaking daily without realizing. My body had finally said, "You're ready, let's move." And that kind of shift, it's life-changing. Once you taste it, you can't unsee it. Reality check: it's not all glory in week 1. Let's be honest here. This first week isn't glamorous. You might feel like a monk 1 minute and a maniac the next. Your urges will spike, your mind will bargain, and old habits will beg for attention. You may experience vivid sexual dreams, random erections at inconvenient times, impulsive thoughts or flashbacks to past porn, mood swings, or temporary low energy. This is normal. This is your nervous system resetting after years, maybe decades of overstimulation. Think of it like detoxing from sugar, alcohol, or drugs. The cravings scream loudest right before they die. Expert perspective: semen retention is a neurological reset. Sex therapist Dr. Jennifer Littner explains, when men abstain from ejaculation, particularly in the first week, they often experience a powerful wave of physical and emotional intensity. This is not just sexual, it's neurological and deeply psychological. This isn't about denial. This is about redirection, and week 1 is where the fire begins. Key takeaway: week 1 is a battlefield between your old identity and your emerging power. You'll feel the chaos, but inside it is the first signal of freedom. I am no longer controlled by my urges. I command my energy now. Coming up next, week 2, the flat line and the fight. But before we get into that, take a moment. Smash that like button if this hit home. Share this with someone trying to break free. Comment below. What day are you on? What's been your biggest challenge so far? Let's stay strong together. This is just the beginning. Part 2. Days 8 to 21. Fighting the urge. Finding the fire timeline. Weeks 2 to 3. The real battle begins. If week 1 was like a sudden storm shaking your system awake, then weeks 2 and 3 are the true test of your mental armor. The initial adrenaline of newness starts to fade. The dopamine reset you began feels more like a slow grind. And those intense urges you've been battling, they come back with a vengeance. Your body, your mind, your habits. Everything inside you is screaming for the comfort of what's familiar. Old routines, instant gratification, the easy escape of porn, masturbation, or casual sex. This phase is often called the danger zone by NoFap veterans, and with good reason. More than half of people trying semen retention or NoFap relapse right here. It's the place where the mind's internal saboteur kicks in hardest. The mind's sabotage, why you're not crazy for struggling. Your brain isn't trying to ruin your life out of spite. It's reacting to fear of change, uncertainty, and the discomfort of rewiring itself. Neuroscience shows that the brain craves familiarity, even if it's harmful. This is a survival mechanism. Your old habits are like a worn-out but trusted map, while this new path of retention and self-discipline is an uncharted territory filled with anxiety. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a renowned neuroscientist, explains, when the brain undergoes change, especially around deeply ingrained behaviors, it triggers a stress response. This means cravings and urges are your brain's way of trying to pull you back to safety. In other words, that voice telling you just one time won't hurt or you're missing out is not your true self. It's your brain fighting to keep you comfortable in its old patterns. If you push through, transformation takes root. But here's the powerful truth. If you can resist the urge to relapse, something incredible happens. The fog starts to lift. Your energy, your focus, your motivation take on a new intensity. Here's what typically shifts for men who push through days 8 to 21. Consistent gym sessions. The days of skipping workouts or showing up half-heartedly vanish. Your training becomes purposeful. You're not just going through the motions. You hit every rep with intention. Heightened training focus. Instead of being distracted by surroundings, like eye candy or social media, you lock eyes on your goals. You notice the weight, the form, the breath. Every set becomes a small battle won. Cravings change. Your appetite shifts from junk food and instant dopamine, sugar, screens, social media, to essentials like protein, clean water, and deep, restful sleep. Your body is rewiring its reward system, demanding real fuel, not quick fixes. This isn't just motivational fluff. It's a biochemical reality backed by research. Science behind the shift. Repairing your dopamine system. A pivotal 2015 study published in Frontiers in Behavioral Neuroscience revealed the damaging effects of chronic overstimulation, like excessive porn consumption and masturbation, on the brain's reward pathways. These behaviors desensitize dopamine receptors, making everyday pleasures less satisfying and driving the cycle of compulsive behaviors. When you practice NoFap or semen retention, you give your dopamine system a chance to heal and rebalance. Receptors become more sensitive. Natural rewards like a challenging workout, a meaningful conversation, or a creative pursuit start delivering real satisfaction again. Meanwhile, your muscles aren't just watching this from the sidelines, they're adapting too. With improved sleep and focus, recovery speeds up, strength builds faster, and your physique begins reflecting the internal changes. Real-life example. Eric's journey from stagnation to progress. To make this more tangible, here's a story from my own accountability group. Let's call him Eric. Eric had been stuck in a frustrating cycle. He'd hit a plateau in the gym, struggled with motivation, and often skipped workouts. His sleep was erratic and energy levels unpredictable. Eric committed to a full NoFap streak alongside prioritizing consistent gym sessions and better sleep hygiene. The result? Within just 2 weeks, he added 25 pounds to his bench press. No magic pills, no shortcuts, just discipline and rewiring his lifestyle habits. He told me, the biggest change wasn't the weight added, it was the mindset. I wasn't just working out to check a box. I felt hungry for progress in every way. Stories like Eric's are far from rare in the NoFap community. They highlight a fundamental truth, the power of directing your energy and focus inward to fuel real, sustainable growth. What to expect in this phase? The grind before the glory. Understand this. Weeks 2 and 3 won't be easy. Urges will come in waves, sometimes unexpected and intense. You may feel boredom, frustration, and a pull back to old habits. But that struggle is a sign of growth. It means your brain is rewiring, your body is adapting, and your mind is being forged like steel in the fire of resistance. Before we move on, if you're still with me, show yourself some respect. Hit that like button right now, because this is where things get serious. Comment focus if you've ever felt more present, sharper, or more energized since starting NoFap or semen retention. We're building more than streaks here. We're building discipline, clarity, and a new life. Part 3, Days 22 to 30, Energy, Recovery, and Masculine Presence. Timeline, Week 4. The new normal emerges. Congratulations, you've navigated through the stormy seas of the first 3 weeks. If the early phases felt chaotic, turbulent, and mentally exhausting, Week 4 ushers in a profound sense of calm, clarity, and control. This is not just about resisting urges anymore. This is your baseline rebooted, a rewired system operating with elevated testosterone, stabilized dopamine, and a newfound mastery over your impulses. You're no longer reacting to impulses. You're living intentionally with deliberate discipline, channeling your energy like a finely tuned engine rather than a flickering flame. Psychological transformations, becoming present and grounded. At this stage, many men report dramatic shifts in their psychological landscape. Mental fog lifts. The brain fog that haunted your first 2 weeks starts to clear. Cognitive functions sharpen. Your memory improves. Your decision-making becomes crisper, and your ability to focus on complex tasks skyrockets. Neuropsychologists suggest this is due to improved dopamine receptor sensitivity combined with reduced overstimulation of the nervous system. Social anxiety diminishes. Suddenly, social interactions don't feel like a minefield anymore. You stand in a room and your mind isn't spinning with self-doubt or awkwardness. Clinical research supports this, noting that the hormone testosterone plays a key role in social confidence and dominance behaviors. Higher testosterone can reduce cortisol, the stress hormone linked to anxiety, creating a calmer, more assertive presence. Heightened sense of purpose. This isn't just a vague motivational cliché. There's a real biological underpinning here. Your brain's reward circuitry is resetting to crave meaningful, long-term goals instead of instant gratification. Your values and priorities feel sharper, and your drive to create or build, whether in career, relationships, or personal development, intensifies. Physical presence changes. You start to walk slower, taller, and more grounded. Body language experts highlight how subtle changes in posture and movement communicate confidence and dominance nonverbally. Men in this phase often describe feeling anchored, as if their entire nervous system is now balanced, translating into an undeniable masculine aura. Biological effects, recovery, sleep, and vascular health. Physiologically, the changes happening inside your body are profound and multi-layered. Deeper, more restorative sleep. Scientific studies link high cortisol levels to poor sleep quality. By cutting out chronic overstimulation and raising testosterone, your cortisol drops significantly. The result? You enter REM sleep cycles more easily and wake feeling genuinely refreshed. Sleep experts emphasize that quality sleep is the foundation for everything, from muscle growth to mental resilience. Faster physical recovery. One of the less discussed but critical benefits of semen retention is the body's ability to conserve nutrients and energy previously allocated for constant sperm production and arousal. Nutritionists and sports scientists note that redirected resources help optimize muscle repair, reduce inflammation, and improve stamina. You'll notice your workouts feel less draining and muscle soreness after intense exercise fades quicker. Improve blood circulation and erectile health. Here's where things get fascinating and often surprising for many men practicing semen retention. Erections become more spontaneous and stronger even without direct stimulation. This isn't just about sexual function. It's a sign your vascular system is regenerating. Cardiologists recognize erectile function as a window into overall cardiovascular health, so these improvements often reflect a healthier heart and better blood flow throughout the body. My personal experience, the moment recovery clicked, I vividly recall my own transition into this phase. Around day 25, after pushing through several tough weeks, I hit a hard workout expecting to wake up with the usual delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS. But the next morning, I felt surprisingly fresh, energized, and ready to move. There was none of that usual stiffness or fatigue that usually signals overtraining. That moment was a wake-up call for me. It was when I realized my recovery game had changed fundamentally. The energy I thought I was losing in retention was, in fact, being redirected into healing and rebuilding my body stronger and faster than before. More than muscle gains, it's about presence. Make no mistake, you might not add 10 pounds of muscle overnight or suddenly transform into a Greek god. But the subtle shifts, the way you carry yourself, the tone of your voice, the intensity of your gaze, these changes command attention. They build an invisible yet powerful aura of masculinity that others sense immediately. Psychologists studying nonverbal communication agree. These traits inspire trust, respect, and influence far more than brute strength alone. In essence, semen retention is less about physical transformation and more about cultivating an authentic masculine presence, a magnetic energy that influences every area of your life. Reflection and takeaway for week 4. Week 4 is your turning point. It's where the internal battle subsides and you start harvesting the fruits of your discipline. Your body, mind, and spirit begin to align in a way that sets the stage for the explosive growth to come in later weeks. So take a moment to appreciate this new baseline. You're not just surviving anymore, you're thriving. This is the foundation of becoming the man you were meant to be. Before we move forward, if this part resonates, do yourself a favor. Smash that like button to support the channel and encourage others to embrace this journey. Comment below. What changes have you noticed in your energy or presence around day 25? Let's keep building this brotherhood of transformation one day at a time. Part 4, days 30 to 60. The rise of the inner alpha timeline. Month 2, the crucible of transformation. This phase is often called the make or break moment on the NoFap journey. It's the period when the majority of men, those who settle for average or fall prey to old habits, drop out. But for the extraordinary, this is where true evolution begins. The inner alchemist within you emerges, transforming raw sexual energy into a powerful creative force. This process, known in ancient wisdom as sexual transmutation, has fascinated philosophers, yogis, and modern psychologists alike. You're no longer a slave to fleeting urges. Instead, you consciously harness that primal force, redirecting it toward your ambitions, your relationships, and your overall life mastery. This isn't just about willpower. It's about rewiring your brain and body for higher purpose and greater achievement. Daily life impact, productivity, and presence. Skyrocket. At this stage, you'll notice your work sessions lengthen naturally without the typical mental fatigue or distraction that once plagued you. This is no accident. Cognitive neuroscientists link improved prefrontal cortex activity to enhanced self-regulation and focus, both byproduct of balanced dopamine and increased testosterone. In meetings or public speaking, your voice carries authority and calm. Experts in social dynamics highlight how hormonal balance influences vocal tone and body language, key signals of confidence that others subconsciously pick up on. You don't just speak, you command attention and respect effortlessly. Your libido intensifies, but with a critical distinction. It's no longer a compulsion or a frantic chase for release. Instead, it's a controlled, vibrant energy. This mature libido is a sign you've gained mastery over your impulses, a hallmark of masculine self-mastery discussed in depth by sexologists and behavioral psychologists. Even your social interactions deepen. Conversations flow with more substance, vulnerability, and authenticity. This is partly because your brain is no longer craving superficial dopamine hits from casual stimuli, but instead seeking meaningful connection. Something evolutionary psychologists affirm is crucial for male psychological health. Performance in the gym. Strength and endurance amplified month 2 marks a renaissance in your physical performance. Personal records, PRs, start breaking again, not just by chance, but because your body has settled into a sustainable rhythm of energy use and recovery. Exercise physiologists note that consistent hormonal balance, especially elevated testosterone and improved sleep quality, dramatically enhance muscle hypertrophy and endurance. You'll notice your muscles look denser and more defined, particularly in key masculine areas like the forearms, traps, and chest. This visual change is more than aesthetics. It's a physiological indicator of increased muscle fiber, recruitment, and improved vascularity, supported by enhanced blood flow and nutrient delivery. Fatigue drops noticeably thanks to superior energy management. Instead of spikes and crashes caused by overstimulation or poor dopamine regulation, your body now operates on a steady fuel supply, optimizing mitochondrial efficiency and metabolic rate, concepts well documented in sports medicine. Scientific backing. The Psychology of Self-Control and Success, a seminal 2010 study published in Biological Psychology, found that men who practiced abstinence exhibited significantly higher self-control and delayed gratification. These cognitive traits aren't just abstract ideals. They're directly linked to muscle hypertrophy, consistent, focused training without burnout, fat loss, managing cravings and maintaining a clean diet, career success, sustained attention, emotional regulation, and strategic thinking. Neuroscientists explain that abstinence helps restore the brain's reward system, making natural, long-term rewards more satisfying than instant gratification. This rewiring supports not just physical, but mental and emotional resilience, helping you train smarter, not just harder. Real-life observation, from shy to unstoppable. I've witnessed this transformation firsthand. Take Eric, a shy software engineer who committed to a full 60-day streak. Initially reserved and self-conscious, he reported a seismic shift in how others perceived him. People ask if I started boxing or modeling, he told me with a grin. I haven't changed much physically, but I feel like a real man now, and they can feel it too. Eric's story is a testament to how inner transformation manifests outwardly. This rise of the inner alpha is not about becoming someone else. It's about reclaiming your true self with greater confidence, presence, and magnetic energy. Summary: embrace your inner alpha. By day 60, you're no longer just resisting urges. You're rising as the architect of your own destiny. The inner alpha doesn't rely on external validation. He commands respect through his energy, focus, and authenticity. This phase is the gateway to profound growth that touches every aspect of your life: health, relationships, career, and self-worth. Remember, the journey is ongoing, but by mastering this phase, you set yourself apart from the average and step firmly into the realm of the extraordinary. Part 5. Day 60 to 90. Mind, Muscle, and Mission Aligned Timeline. Month 3. From Warrior to King. Welcome to the final and arguably the most powerful phase of this journey. This is the moment where the warrior transitions into the king. No longer are you battling urges or chasing fleeting bursts of motivation. Instead, you embody discipline itself. This transformation is not hype or exaggeration. It's a realignment of body, mind, and mission that many seek but few truly reach. Your neurochemistry, habits, and mindset are now operating in seamless harmony. Profound internal shifts, commanding presence and purpose. At this stage, your confidence has solidified into something unshakable and magnetic. Psychologists describe this as authentic confidence, the kind that comes from internal mastery rather than external validation. You don't rush your words anymore. Instead, you speak deliberately with weight and calm authority, which makes people naturally listen and respect your perspective. This is not just about being heard, it's about building a legacy. Your desire for superficial approval has faded, replaced by a focused mission to create lasting impact. Social neuroscientists point out that this phase correlates with increased activity in the brain's medial prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for self-awareness, purpose-driven behavior, and long-term planning. Real-world leaders and entrepreneurs often describe this phase as a zone of flow or peak operating state, where the alignment of mind and body enables exceptional decision-making and resilience. Hormonal mastery, efficient testosterone use. While your testosterone levels may have stabilized since the initial surge in earlier phases, what's truly remarkable now is how your androgen receptors have become more sensitive and efficient. Endocrinologists explain that receptor sensitivity means your body can derive more biological effect from the same level of testosterone, boosting everything from muscle protein synthesis to mood regulation. This is why men in this phase report feeling stronger, more energized, and mentally sharper, even if their blood tests don't show sky-high testosterone numbers. It's the difference between raw hormone quantity and effective hormone utilization, akin to upgrading from a standard engine to a turbocharged one. Physical traits, the embodiment of masculine vitality. The physical changes you now exhibit are classic markers of high testosterone and optimal health, not from artificial supplements, but as a direct result of retention and purposeful living. Your shoulders broaden, enhancing that classic V-taper physique associated with strength and masculinity. Your waist narrows, reflecting lower body fat and improved metabolic health. Fitness experts often call this the alpha waist, a hallmark of hormonal balance and disciplined nutrition. Your jawline becomes more defined, a subtle but powerful facial cue that signals genetic fitness and dominance, recognized even in nonverbal social communication studies. For those who dial in their diet and hydration, vascularity becomes visible, indicating improved blood flow and cardiovascular function, which are intimately tied to testosterone and nitric oxide levels. Expert commentary and real-life context. Dr. Robert Sapolsky, a renowned neuroendocrinologist, highlights how this phase reflects a shift from reactive survival mode to proactive dominance. You're no longer chasing after external rewards, but instead setting the terms of engagement in your life. In practical terms, this means your morning routines are no longer chores but rituals. Your workouts are purposeful sessions of growth. Your work and relationships are driven by intention, not obligation. A client I coached through this phase shared that after 75 days of commitment, friends and colleagues noticed his transformation. They described him as more grounded, more charismatic, like he stepped into his own power. This feedback aligns perfectly with what we see scientifically. The merging of mind, muscle, and mission creates a powerful aura of leadership and attraction. Conclusion: becoming the king of your domain. In this final stage, you become more than just a man avoiding distractions. You become a leader of your own life, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Your body reflects your internal discipline, your mind operates with clarity and intention, and your mission expands beyond self-interest into creating meaningful legacy. This phase isn't a finish line. It's the launch pad for sustained growth, high performance, and authentic masculinity. You're no longer a participant in life's game. You are the one who sets the rules. Conclusion: what's really happening? So after 90 days of abstaining from ejaculation, what exactly is going on inside your body, mind, and spirit? The truth goes far beyond simply not releasing. You're not just hitting pause on a physical act. You're actively reclaiming your primal life force, the very energy that fuels vitality, creativity, and leadership. Physiologically, your body starts to behave like a finely tuned machine. Recovery processes speed up dramatically: muscle repair, hormonal balance, nervous system recalibration, all optimized for growth and endurance. Instead of burning out from overstimulation, your system regenerates, allowing you to perform at peak levels consistently. Experts in endocrinology highlight how this hormonal harmony supports better sleep, improved metabolism, and enhanced immune function, creating a robust physical foundation. Mentally, your focus sharpens into a razor's edge. This is no longer about scattered dopamine bursts from instant gratification. Instead, your brain rewires itself for long-term goals, strategic thinking, and sustained mental resilience. Neuroscientists emphasize that this neurochemical reset improves cognitive control, emotional regulation, and stress management, giving you the mindset of a warrior prepared for battle, not just against external challenges, but also against internal distractions. Spiritually and emotionally, something profound happens. You begin to walk through the world with a newfound sense of purpose and power, a calm, grounded masculinity that commands respect without demanding it. This is about mastering when to hold your energy and when to release it, channeling it with intention and wisdom. It's the alchemy ancient sages spoke of, transforming raw sexual energy into creative and life-affirming force. This journey isn't rooted in fear or avoidance of sex. Rather, it's about learning mastery over your own biology and psychology. It's about evolving beyond the impulsive cycles that drain you and stepping into a life where your energy propels you forward toward your highest ambitions. Before you go, if this video has opened your eyes to the deeper power within you, like it right now. Let your support be known. Share it with your brothers in arms, those who are ready to step up and reclaim their power. Subscribe to join this tribe of warriors committed to growth, discipline, and purpose. And don't forget to comment King Energy. If you made it to the end, this isn't just a phrase, it's a declaration. Drop a crown emoji in the comments. This is your signal that you're not a passive observer, but an active warrior on a mission. Remember this, a weak man chases comfort. A strong man holds his power. A king commands his destiny. This is your call to arms. Stay strong, stay disciplined, and take your throne. The path won't always be easy, but the crown belongs to those who persevere.